Again with my main man Tyrannosaurus Flex.
Greetings and salutations, all. How you doing today, Bo?
Uh, so we just gonna keep on riding out with this greetings, and
I'm gonna make it a phrase for 2024.
I ain't gonna lie, I actually stole it from you earlier today. I was talking to my kinfolk. I was messing with him. I was like, greetings and salutations, my African brother. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? But
It's
yeah,
on you.
you say what?
It's working on you.
Yeah, it's working. It's working. It's working. So how the hell have you been? What's been going on with you, my man? We have some beautiful conversation tonight. Um, so, and I know you have some beautiful stuff for a Ty's conspiracy corner as well. So look out for that here in a little bit. But
It,
topic for tonight, man, what do you think has really started to happen to the human consciousness? And when I say the human consciousness, I mean like the actual when you were a kid and you were about to go do something and that little thing in the back of your head said, you know what, Tyrone, I don't think this is a good idea. And
and
you went away. So why do you think that is depleting in the human race? Or is it depleting, or is it that we just don't we have so much access to social media, it seems like the human conscious is depleting.
I think that's a lot of it. I'm a big lover of social media, but as well as I love social media, I feel like it's a curse to us.
Hmm.
It's given us this access of this undeserved freedom.
Hmm.
Saying like in the sense of like now we can say whatever we want, we can practically do whatever we want, we can be anywhere we want, all due to like social media. And I think that that conscience meter in us has slowly just kind of dwindled down, man, because it's given us as people with this new platform a false sense of security.
Hmm.
Some people they don't use it for good. They don't use it for, to pass on knowledge. They use it to either bully, provoke, taunt. I'm a victim of, that social media false consciousness bullying, man. You
Right.
know,
And I'm not even talking in the aspect of social media. I mean, social media is definitely a tool to help with the depletion of consciousness. But I
well,
mean, just in the natural sense of a person, just even if we just knock out social media for a second, just take that out the box for a second, just even in the matter of just people opening doors for the elderly, or people actually stopping to help someone when people need help. You know what I'm saying? And things like that, or actually just in the manner of integrity as a person. You know what I mean? So why do you think some of the I guess you would say the integrity of humanity is depleting? I guess you would say.
now for me, you know me, Bo. I'm not a religious person per se, but I
Hmm.
the lack of spiritual uh activity.
You say what now?
It's a lack of spiritual sensitivity.
Okay, hold on real quick. This is my daughter calling. Hold on, let me. Hey, baby, I'm on live right now. I'm gonna call you back. I'm on live right now. I'm gonna call you back. All right, bye bye. All right, yeah, that was my oldest baby. Constant.
Hey, coming.
Yeah, yeah. So now, what were you saying though?
I think it's a lack of spiritual sensitivity. You know,
Hmm.
natural love for your fellow man or to do right by your fellow man. I think a lot of this generation is so enclosed into themselves or just enclosed into like, it's me, get my money, do my thing, F
Hmm.
everybody else's feelings. My feelings come first. And if I hurt you, so what? It's still about me.
Right. And I guess you would say, and I'm sorry, babe. I didn't mean to smoke up at the house. Is it clear up there? Still kind of smoky. I'm sorry, y'all. I had left some rice on the stove, and it got kind of smoky. But yeah, I mean, even with the you were saying you're not much of a religious person. I mean, we don't even have to nail that down to religion. We can just nail that down to just being a good person. I mean, having couth, having manners. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's why I said spiritual sensitivity.
Hmm.
That's what I meant. Like, just people just have that lack of genuine compassion. And it's very hard to find. And nowadays, if you are trying to be nice to somebody, everybody thinks you got some kind of ulterior motive.
Right. And I think that's the trick that the devil has played, to where he has made kindness look as a weakness, and he's made rudeness or uncouthness look cool, should I say.
Think about it. Think about it from like when we were kids and we used to listen to rappers. We liked the rappers that were, hardcore and, talked about slapping people or shooting up the club and all this and money over women and, stuff like that. Look at my car and look at my rims. Like it naturally desensitized us to just being loving. Because think about even music. Think about how rap started. Rap was like, I rock the party, I feel good, I look good, I'm my crew
Hmm.
that. You know what I'm saying? It's not about like I'm gonna bust you upside your head, my set, my click. You know what I'm saying? I think
Yeah.
it even as far as like I hate to go back to religion, just with the sense of music. Who was the musician in the kingdom of heaven? You know what I'm saying? And what do they say? One quick
He's the leader of the choir, yeah, the devil.
way to influence the masses is with what? Music.
Oh, music.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely, now that is definitely a true statement. You can influence the masses, and you can definitely deteriorate the brain, as we see with, a lot of our music. And even I was watching the show called Rhythm and Flow. I don't know if you've heard of it, where they have the rappers, they all compete against each other for a chance to, for a contract, $1 million, so forth, so on. And I was listening to some of the things that Cardi B was saying when she was judging a lot of the talent. And I'm not gonna lie, a lot of these people have good talent. Now, of course, some were trash. Everybody can't be a rapper, obviously. But she was saying, as when she was critiquing them, she would say, I can't sell this. This is not what the kids are listening to." And every time she would, and I'm not gonna lie, some of the artists were decent, and I'm not gonna lie, some, like, once again, some of them were trash, but some of the decent artists that should have been, you know going on, it was more of a, well, I can't sell this because the kids not listening to it. And a lot of what she was saying that she could sell, it was like,
The stuff that's out now,
yeah, like the music she puts out,
the
garbage.
Reds, the Cardi B's and shit like that, and just like I'm an old school hip hop head, man. You know me,
Hmm.
stuff from like back in the day, the B boys and stuff like that. Like I love like when women rap back in the day. Like I don't even know if you heard of Roxanne Shante. That was a bad rapper, boy. Yo Yo, Queen Latifah, MC
Yeah.
Light. You know what I'm saying? Like Butterfly from no, it's Lady Doodlebug, I think, from like Diggable Planets. You know,
Lady, I haven't heard of that name. I'm gonna have to look that up. Lady Doodoo Bug.
didn't know their names, but like, yeah, like it's rappers who had conscious thought like that, like, or even
Hmm.
just rappers like Common, Talib,
Hmm.
Most Def, Lupe Fiasco, older Kanye. You know what I'm saying? Those type of
Right.
the what do you call it? Nappy. I was just listening to Nappy Roots today, and just
Hold on one moment. Hold on one moment. We got some comments from LaShawn. Shout out to LaShawn Comment Corner. Go ahead, babe.
eh,
Travis said, "What's the question being addressed now?" So we're basically talking about what has happened to the human conscience. And when we speak of what has happened to the human conscience, I mean, i.e., just an example, I guess you would say, manners, and being, being able to helping someone without wanting something back. Things
right.
like that, and just the natural essence of being a decent human being. And then we kind of splashed on what social media has done to it, and then even going back to when we were kids, as far as the kind of the music we listened to. Now, I'm sorry to cut you off. Go ahead, Ty. Go ahead. Where you with?
I was just giving examples of just the types of influence that is not necessarily crowned as sellable hip hop. You
Mm-hmm.
even know if you remember like Black Eyed Peas in the beginning, they were
Mm-hmm.
rappers. They were talking about the flow and the earth and this, that, and the third, and then out of nowhere they talking about let's get retarded. Why? Because it was music that
This song was sellable. You say what now?
because they wanted to. I mean, I guess whoever the powers that be wanted them to conform to
Mm-hmm.
what quote unquote sellable. And even going back into just like talk about imagery of, I know I'm sticking on the music thing, but that's one of the things I relate to the most. But like talk about like imagery. you know, the pictures, the depictions. Like when you go to concerts, it's like it's basically like they trying to like hypnotize you with like either like satanic messagery. Like I was just looking on YouTube about Travis Scott, you know, in the Houston thing that happened.
With the concert, I can't remember all the details.
Apparently 10 people got trampled on in that concert, and it
Mhm.
took a while for these people to, you know, for the people who were running the concert to realize that something was happening. But to,
Right.
you know, expound on that story, the imagery of the show that was depicting it detailed
Uh-huh.
of 10 people getting either assaulted, or you know, it showed like 10 hands being laid out and 10 faces of children being crushed and stuff like that. You can't,
Okay.
out of coincidence, man.
It's not. Hold on, we got some comments. Come on, babe. LaShawn comment corner coming in. He said comments.
Oh, yeah. Trav said, I somewhat agree, though. The kids are driving sales. Cardi B is entertaining, but really nothing of substance.
Nothing.
She appeals to the younger generation, so that's her target audience.
Right on, and that is the truth. Go ahead, Ty.
Listen to an oldie station 20 years from now where Cardi B is playing. I refuse to think that that music is going to hold a testament of time. We're still going to be listening to Marvin Gaye 20 years from now. We still
Now,
going to.
I'm gonna tell you something. Somebody's gonna be listening to that music. You want me to tell you why? Because it's relevant now. Because you think about all the music that was supposed to be trash back in the day. Somebody's still listening to it now. Somebody like it. Somebody out there got a Milli Vanilli album. They still playing. I guarantee you. I guarantee you.
I mean, because
We blame it on the rain.
Kiss Me Through the Phone, like that
You,
dumb song.
you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? That what Tiffany, my wife said. Go ahead.
That relates to you from an emotional level. On you trying to talk to a girl.
Right.
Like I'm trying to bust that open. Oh, don't worry about him. He just my baby daddy. You know what I'm saying?
But hold on, the baby daddy, I ain't gonna lie, that's just my baby. That came back, that came out in our era. They came out when we was young. Yeah, that's just my baby daddy. That we were in school.
When's the last time you heard that like popping in the club? Even on old folks night. When's the last time you heard that?
You're not gonna hear that really. You can probably hear that. If you do hear it, you're gonna hear it somebody playing it at their house party.
Right, you're gonna hear some DMX Rough Riders, or you're gonna hear some like Step in the Name of Love, even though people don't even say they listen to R. Kelly. They still gonna play it somewhere in the club, and you gonna have 30, 50 dudes or women doing the Step in the Name of Love slide dance. Why? Because that relates to us on an emotional level. That's like, yeah, you want to get with your partner and do two-step, not bumping and grinding and get your cheeks scratched and shit like that. No, man.
Well, hold on. Now, I gotta kind of disagree because now look at this. Back that ass up. That is the number one played song in the club across the world, if I'm not mistaken.
Hey, and you know there are some white tigers out in the wild. There are some exceptions to the rule. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Aries Spears, man. I it's saying all this joke, but yeah, Aries Spears said it best. Some shit makes it through the cracks, some through the matrix, and back that ass up. Hey, as much as I feel like it's not a very proud song for us, it still be pumping. You can go to a beach party right now, and some 40-year-old auntie in a bad built bathing suit is gonna be trying to back that.
Hey, boy, you gonna get some 50, 60-year-olds with back that ass up because you gotta realize now, bro, back that ass up is roughly what, damn near 30 years old.
Oh,
Because you gotta realize, so go ahead.
30 years.
Huh?
I said, I think it's about like 1999,
Oh.
2000. Yep.
Yep, for the 99 2000. So yeah, 24, 23, 24 years old. So I mean, you got some 50, 60-year-olds, they was in their 40s when back that, they was in the club hot twerking.
That
You know
got
what I'm saying? Well, I ain't gonna lie, not twerking. I'm sorry. They was bagging that ass up.
those are one of the songs that held the testament of time, not falling off. You know what I'm saying? It's a club banger. It is.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Travis said he gonna have to fact check me on that. Nah, I ain't gonna lie, Travis, fact check me. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But if I'm not mistaken, that is, if not the most song played in a club, but it's Tell me, fact check me, and let me know. Yeah, you gonna every time it's gonna be 20 years from now when our kids go to the club, they're gonna be like, "Mama, the daddy, they played that song by Juvenile, back that ass up." Oh, they still what? We gonna be 60 years old. They still playing that shit. Back when I was 18, that was my jam. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah. So I definitely think, like back to what we were saying, the music has definitely kind of deteriorate our conscience because and even like with and that, actually let's stop let's before the music, before social media, let's just start with TV. Let's just start with TV. Now I'm not gonna lie, my wife, she's a big fan of watching the news. I watch it here and there just to kind of, when she's watching it. But if you think about the news, what is it? And I know it's to be informing, right?
Right.
But what about the news is actually positive?
You don't see too much of that. You see it probably like in the afternoon news, but the nighttime news is, this got shot, this person got ran over, cops came into this, apartment building, a car chase. It's what keeps the ratings going. That's
Right.
usually.
Hold on. Tiffany said there is some positive news. Now, can you give us when the last time we watched the news? Can you give me a positive
Well,
instance?
the news station that I watch, they actually have spotlights on other things other than just, what's going on in the world. Like they spotlight artists and stuff like that. Like, remember the one we watched where the guy, he made the painting just out of like all these little just dots, and it made a whole.
Okay, yeah.
Like there is positive stuff too. I like the news because it informs me on things that I'm not hearing in my day-to-day, everyday life.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. I'm not knocking for the watching it for the informative part, but that was getting to my point of where TV, it is meant to control us. It shows us. We get, how can I put it? It's what 5 or 6 companies that across the world that control most 90% of the media. If I'm correct, fact check me, please. Fact check me. It's 5 or 6 companies. Go ahead, Ty.
Like I said, you got me on that one. I don't know, but I know like the Turner Broadcasting Network, CNN, dang, I can't. I mean, I'm just shooting off the names off the top of my head now.
When I say the broadcasting, I'm not talking about channels. That's not what I'm talking. I'm not talking about the channels. I'm talking about the network. Network. It's 5 or 6 companies that own most of the networking across the world. You know what I'm saying? And what you do, like we were saying earlier, control the masses with what they see, what they hear. Like when we were talking about the other day with COVID.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If I control what you see, I basically anticipate your reaction. Go ahead, babe. You got. Did you pull it up for me?
In television, the vast majority of broadcast and basic cable networks, over 100 in all, are controlled by 7 corporations.
700 networks, right? You say 100.
Over 100 in all.
100 in all networks are controlled by 7 companies, 7 corporations. You think that's a coincidence? And that hold on, and that's across the world, right, babe? Oh, shout out to Unc, but that's across the world, correct? Yeah, and so that's 7 companies corporations, I'm sorry, controlling pretty much all of TV. Go ahead, brother.
High rise, like super building, like around a round table, like the Lords of Injustice or something. They plotting and scheming on how they can just poison our minds.
Yeah. So with that being said, with the TV, that was the first desensitization method.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because now we can show you what we doing to y'all.
Mm-hmm.
And the more we show you what we doing to y'all, you become susceptible to it. Now, after we show you what we can do, y'all. Now, obviously, the radio, rap music didn't come along to what, the 80s, 90s. I'm sorry, late 70s, early 90s. I mean, late 70s, 80s. You know what I'm saying? So now that we've shown you,
like the mainstream was everywhere. Everybody wanted to listen to rap. It was like the early 80s.
Okay, early 80s. So now we've already desensitized you with the TV, because mostly on TV, we already know that most white people own the TV stations, right? We know that. So what you're gonna see is what back in those days it was a lot of marching and us getting beat on, killed, stabbed, raped, blah 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 blah. Right? So we desensitize you with it with the TV. Now we're gonna allow you to hear it. We're gonna allow you to hear it. You done seen it, you done watched it. Now we're gonna allow you to hear it. So now that we've allowed you to hear it over what 2, 3, I'm sorry, no, what rap is what 50 years old now, 40 years old plus 50 years old. Okay. So now, and even before that, I'm sorry, let's go back to when rap started, when rap started evolving. That was around the 90s, early 90s.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So now we're gonna let you hear it. And ever since then, man, once the TV, the rap, then the social media hit, it's been a continuous programming.
Well, see, to go back on something that you said, like with the whole civil rights video footage,
Mm-hmm.
yes, was used to basically like invoke fear in the African American community, basically saying you don't have, safety in the South. But what it did was also aid people in the North who didn't know that this stuff was going on. And that's where a lot of like those civil rights activists, the white, brothers that we had, or the white sisters that we had, they also bear witness to that. And that's when a lot of those people came from the North and marched with us in the South. The guy who was running for president, it starts with a B. I can't remember his name, but he was talking about legalization of marijuana, and not Ben Carson. That's the Republican. I can't think of his name, but he was a Democrat. But
Mm-hmm. No, go ahead. I'm listening.
He marched with Martin Luther King, and he actually has pictures of himself with Martin Luther King. He was a white gentleman. I can't remember his name, but
I know who you're talking about, but I can't recall his name. But I know who you're talking about.
But yeah, there is truth to that, because you can look back and have records of like the lynchings that were publicly shown. You can have the injustice of like people just walking down the street, and you see white people walking up behind black brothers and sisters, just pushing them in the back while all they're doing is just walking down the street.
Yeah.
The of like when they started integrating public schools, and how they had FBI agents and stuff, and just to just to be the security for these kids. They had all that on film, and some people that with positive and negative inflections.
Yeah, I mean they had. I mean it can go both ways, but I mean, like I say, it was to be able to even just show that, and even now, like as you see on TV, and then and actually, I guess you'll say social media is somewhat the new TV now, because instances hit faster on social media than they do come across a TV screen.
Because it's right there.
Yeah, it's in your hand. I mean, your phone is nothing but a TV in your hand that can do a whole lot of more things. So it does with that social media, man. It kind of just it immediately boom, 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 and now it's I can watch on my phone this dude getting beat to death live, or getting shot to death live, or God knows whatever on live. Even when people have went on Facebook, live and killed themselves, or Instagram live and went and killed each other, or killed, the kids, and you know what I'm saying, just on live, man. And like I say, the consciousness of the people, man, is it's starting to lose grasp. And I'm not even gonna say it's starting to lose grasp, because once again, I always believe that there's more good than bad. You know what I'm saying? That's just to me, that's just the way it is. It's just that 10, 15, 20% of the bad, they're gonna always get that light, because the things that they do can be so heinous. Go ahead, brother.
You're right about that. I do believe that there is more good out there than evil, but it's just the sway of the public's perception that makes us see the evil first.
Mm-hmm.
And shoot, I was gonna say something and I totally lost it. But but what you said, it's all about perception. Oh yeah, now I remember. I was gonna tell you about, as far as like seeing the news. I feel more knowledgeable by looking at what's going on to our day to day just by social media. Not even what's going on like your regular news channels. They don't even like have like the superiority when it comes to giving us the news. Why? Because we're literally making our own news as we speak.
Touche. I mean, because I think now, because we do have these phones with these cameras on it, I mean, a lot of time it is straight from, I guess you'll say, the horse's mouth as to waiting on the reporter to get there, find out the information, give us their story, as opposed to, you know, John pulling out his phone, boop,
Mhm.
and it's a straight feed. You know what I'm saying? And the whole world gets to see it. You know, and that can be good or a bad thing depending on what it is. You know, for a perfect example, me and my cousins were down in Deep Ellum one night and we heard gunshots. We had literally just got out the car. We heard gunshots, and you know, it's once again desensitized. It's a
Mhm.
normal thing. You know what I'm saying? All of us, you know, we raised in somewhat decent neighborhoods, but you know, it's a gunshot. Okay, shit happens. You know what I'm saying? So we kept on going to where we were going down in Deep Ellum.
That
Just
wouldn't have
so
been
happened
the end of
we
my
walked. Huh?
that would have been the end of my night right there. I'd have jumped right back in the car, put my seatbelt on, be like, yeah, go ahead, take me
But
home.
but that's the thing though. The gunshots weren't close to us. Like you could tell it was, you know, it was far enough away from us. You know what I'm saying? But you could tell it wasn't like, oh, it's around the corner. We gotta go. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? It's like you could hear it, but it wasn't close. You know what
Mhm.
I mean? So we kept on by the night, but by the time we were walking, I mean, we walked 30, 45 minutes, just cruise. But we came upon the young lady that had been shot. You
Damn.
know what I'm saying? And she wasn't dead, I don't believe. You know what I'm saying? She was laying there like it was like a movie scene, fam. She was just laying. You know how people they be laying there and they just leaking. You know what I'm saying? And it's like and my kinfolk went to pull out his phone. The police was like, "Oh no, how would you feel if that was your relative?" You know what I'm saying? Like, and it was but that's how what I'm saying. Like, so desensitized. It's like it's nothing to see somebody laid out leaking and just to pull out your phone. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? Like man, it's an ugly thing to be that kind of desensitized to where we just used to shit that people are not supposed to be used to. And like even like I said, I didn't grow up in the ghetto. I grew up in a decent area. I know about the ghetto, been around the ghetto. You know what I'm saying? I know enough about it to maintain myself if I should have to live there. You know what I'm saying? I've lived in the ghetto, but I wasn't raised there. But to all the people that just like, okay, take Chicago, for example, one of the worst cities to live in the United States. You know what I'm saying? And can you imagine the type of violence? And you can go and look at you've heard the staggering numbers about the weekends in Chicago. 10, 15, 20 people, 30 people get killed in a freaking weekend, bro. And it's nothing. And they're gonna turn right around and do it next weekend.
Over again.
You know what I'm saying? Like how desensitized are you to where you can go to this spot this weekend, you and your partners, y'all lose two partners. Next weekend, y'all at another spot where the same niggas that whacked your two partners, they gonna be at, and y'all gonna start this cycle all over again.
Because people are like desensitized to violence, man. Sometimes it's about like a revenge thing. And that's where you go back to the topic of discussion is, where's people's consciousness. They don't look at it as like that was a red flag. Maybe we shouldn't go around these dudes that shot my partner. No, they looking like, I hope that dude that shot my partner is there so maybe I could do something. Or
Yeah.
maybe it's, I'm still here, I'm showing that our crew is still here or our group is still here. You ain't scaring nobody. There's
So
this
it sounds like to me it's a lot of pride in this. It's because
pride, false sense of security. I mean, but that's been all throughout history, man. It ain't anything. It's more present now because we see it. The same
exactly.
been getting shot up like in Chicago, where the same clubs are getting shot up in Chicago 30 years ago. It's just that we're not waiting for news coverage anymore. We're not waiting for that lady doing the interview outside of the club with the yellow tape around it anymore. We got, homeboy at 8529 on his Instagram live doing the news coverage. We have become the news. Literally,
Right.
we become the news coverage. We literally tell everybody what's going on before even the cops get there.
Yeah, yeah. And that's the crazy part. I mean, we'll tell them, but to a certain extent, we won't tell them, depending on what it is. But, but anyway, man, we done came across the 30-minute mark. It is time for my main man, Tyrannosaurus Flex, and his. Hold on, let me find it. Hold on. Let me find it. That is. It is time, ladies and gentlemen, for my main man, Tyrannosaurus Flex, and his conspiracy corner. Hold on before you start speaking.
Uh-oh.
Welcome.
Yeah, welcome. Here, let me turn on my creepy lights here. Oh, let's go with the red. Ooh.
Okay, you get. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead, brother.
Let me ask you a question, bro. How do you feel about AI, man?
Artificial intelligence. It is depending on who's using it and for what reason.
How would you feel if I told you that all it takes is 3 words that you said for an AI to generate an entire conversation with your voice and matching your voice inflection word for word?
I will particularly believe it because I mean, just even on the when you think about it, when you call in with the teleprompter, they're trained to understand full sentences. So imagine what you can do with the money. But go ahead.
I'd like to talk to you today about a couple of instances that I've recently discovered that involve people going through real life situations where scammers or just people trying to play pranks are using AI to create these whole dialogues and even using like audio in the background to sound like wind blowing, or it could be like your a relative think is held captive somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
These scammers are literally using AI to generate false ransom letters or false statements. I'm going to talk to you about a certain instance that happened in December of 2023 in Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
By the name of Eric Eisner was supposedly hot mic'd in his office talking with the secretary. He claimed shouting out fake or not fake, but just potential racial slurs and insults of fellow colleagues of color. And he was
Now,
going sound like he was going in, Jack. He was
yes.
going in. He was saying,
Now I listened to that. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I listened to a smidget of that particular interview. I mean that particular conversation, and it was rather appalling. Now, whether it was him or not, I don't know, but I'm not gonna lie. If I was a juror, but go ahead.
I mean, it's even gotten so bad to where they even like dubbed our president Joe Biden. It was a recent discussion, how they have, they're trying to control the border in Texas, right?
Mm-hmm.
There was an audio bit where it sounds like he's talking outside where he has like a mic on, but he doesn't know he's still mic'd up.
Right.
All AI generated, where he's claiming to send F-15s to wage war on Texas.
Now, I'm not gonna lie. Now, considering that Texas did used to be its own country, do you think? Now, I don't know about that one. I don't.
No,
I mean, it's all iffy. It's. I mean, I've heard that same that I've heard that clip that you were talking about. I went and watched it as well. Now the voices, it just does sound like Joe Biden. I do give you that, but I don't. Like I say, I don't know. I'm kind of iffy on these things because people do put things out there, and I'm not saying that AI can't do it. Now, that I'm not saying that. I do fully believe AI has the capability to recognize and repeat with inflection and all of that because we have made technology so far. I do believe you on that.
I got some more for you.
Go ahead.
More stories like this happening, but it was a little bit more closer to home and actually scary. What I
Mm-hmm.
mean, these AI scammers, that it's literally these people who are like, you know, probably computer engineers, computer coders. They have
Mm-hmm.
literally up false ransoms. They would call, like, say, like a mother. There was one story of a Jennifer DeStefano
Mm-hmm.
got an AI caller when her daughter went out of town, right? She was on a ski trip. So she
Right.
answered the call thinking it might be her daughter. It's a
Right.
guy with a muzzled voice saying, "Hey, if you don't give me $1 million, your daughter's going to be, pumped up full of drugs and dropped off in Mexico." Let me tell you, Bo, they got this little girl screaming in the background, and it ain't even her. And the sad thing is these people are falling for it because they hear in their family in the background saying, "Hey,
My,
help me."
my
I'm
question: why did they not try to contact their daughter, or I mean, before we went into full panic? Or go ahead.
I wanted to lead into. A lot of these scammers are trying to scare people into like not calling the person directly, because what they'll do is they'll say like they won't let you talk to the person, and they say if you don't answer what we want, or if you don't give us what we're asking for, we'll kill them on the spot. Don't even think about trying to call them because we got a phone right here.
Now, with that being said, how old was the lady? What was DeSanto? What was her? I couldn't remember her first name, but how old was she?
Well, she had to be somebody of middle age because her daughter was 15.
Okay, so she was roughly probably maybe late 30s, between late 30s and 50, I guess you would say.
Right now, judging from the studies of computer engineer Serbio Camopodi of Arizona State, he was the one where I got that previous information, and he showed it on a live feed. He said, like, you don't even need special technology to do it. You
Hmm.
literally have it in the palm of your hand. There's so many apps right now that have been generated to where you can create AI speech. He says all it takes is 3 words, and it can create an almost lifelike mimicking of you. And I was watching the reporter do it. She said, "Hi, Lisa so and so." And it literally took those 3 words and it says, "I'm using a fake AI program to make it sound like I'm talking to you right now." And it sounded almost like her. Now, they say like the more words you put in, the more inflection that you have, the more like, character that you have behind your voice, the more the AI can actually mimic you. And I don't
Right.
even notice this, but you're already seeing it like on TikTok. If you ever see like the podcast, say like one in general I've seen is Joe Rogan. They use his voice a lot. And what they have done is they've taken a composite of everything that he said on his shows, his comedy bits, and like they literally create a commercial for whatever it is they're promoting, but it sounds like Joe Rogan is promoting it. And you can hear like the inflections in his voice or the enthusiasm when he's talking about the product. And he's like, it really sounds like him. You can see it on YouTube, you can see it on Instagram. And the reason why I'm getting so high about this because you're so worried about an AI creating something out there in the world, but literally AI can literally take our voices and clone us. We've given them over like 40 years of just useful, like, I don't want to say ingredients, that's the terrible, like just information. Our MySpace, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, the YouTube videos. We purposely voice ourselves on TikTok. Like literally, I made 2 TikToks today before
Right.
I even stepped into this. Now there might be somebody in Cambodia trying to, threaten my sister-in-law saying, I'm being held ransom out in Cambodia. And I ain't never.
Well, listen, I hope our families would have the sense enough to call and at least try to check up on us before they make any rash decisions. You know what I'm saying? But
Mhm.
yeah, this AI thing, man, it is going to a whole nother level, and that's why I'm not gonna lie. It's certain appliances that I don't even like. You know how some people like, oh, my whole house is voice activated. Fuck that. No,
Yeah,
we're not doing that
think about
because
it.
go ahead.
I, and then activate your whole security system and shut you out of your own home.
Yeah,
That's scary.
that's scary, bro. Or something, not even shut you out your home. Somebody lock you in your home.
Lock
You
you
know.
in your steal your assets. Like, I mean, it could be serious. I don't think that kind of technology should be so easily open to the public, because it's already like I'm starting to get into watching documentaries now. Like I'm literally watching how people can take those prepaid debit cards and go on
Mm-hmm.
a black market, the black website or black internet or whatever, and literally purchase your bank information for literally pennies on the dollar, and have their own little card reader where they can literally run that card, and now your account is linked to that card.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've watched like I can't remember Michael K. Williams, Lord rest his soul. He used to do the documentaries on like the game bangers and stuff in the hood, the schemers and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
he had one of the guys that they were, credit card fraud people, and he was saying like they rack up 10, 15, 20 grand a day. You know what I'm saying? A day.
It was like,
You know
yo,
what I'm saying?
they keep it so simple. Like they don't go to the big name stores. They go to the mom and pop stores, use that credit card once, let it slide through. Then they throw that card away. Now you're calling in the bank and wondering why you got a $200 charge on your card. And they just, what do? They forgive it. They see you.
But you know what, man? They like nah. They like the way these guys were working. It wasn't no going no mom and pop stores. Like they wasn't even. I don't even believe they were buying like it wasn't no small items. Like he had a whole. It wasn't no prepaid card. He had like a whole credit card maker machine.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like he had like his laptop set up and he had like stacks of cards, credit
Mm-hmm.
cards. You know what I'm saying? And he just and as he talking,
Yep.
and and obviously they disguise their voice, but man, yeah, these credit card schemes, man, it's really something. And speaking of that, have you seen that? And I know this is a little bit off subject. Have you seen the movie Bumblebee yet with Jason Statham?
Bumble. No, no.
I mean, not Bumblebee. I'm sorry, the Beekeeper. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. I know. I knew it had something to do with bees or something like that, and it
Yeah,
was basically
check
how
that
to
out.
rectify the wrongs of like people getting scammed and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So I don't want to tell the whole point of the movie. I don't want to spoil it, but it's something along the lines of that. You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
sorry, man, but I love Jason Statham. He got that voice where you could just walk into a room and say anything. He's like, "You don't know me, but I know you. You don't know what I'll do. I'm the fucking transporter. I
No,
transport."
fam, I can't see him. Hold on, hold on, bro. Travis say they trying to pass a law for the school system to eliminate teaching about MLK, so trying to address, etc. Um,
Yeah,
Travis say he's familiar with AI. He say he believe it can be done as well. Yeah,
it's been done.
yeah, it's
Skynet is
been done. It's doing you're doing it right now. Think about it.
think about this, man. Hang on. I'm going into my conspiracy hole again.
No, go ahead, go ahead.
Fully autonomous robots. They have meat processing plants where they can literally digitally create real meat. Now you tell
No, no, hold on. No,
like
you cannot create meat. It is not meat. I don't care what. Go ahead,
it's like a meat printer. It's like how like they do those 3D printers. It's the same thing, but for
bro,
meat.
bro. I don't care what you say. You can't make meat. You can make
You
something like it that look like it.
Impossible meat. You can call it Beyond Meat. You can call ain't real shit. Whatever it is, they doing it. It's been done. I have seen it.
Oh
Okay.
man, but
Yes.
I feel you. I feel you.
But no,
But like,
wait,
go
wait,
ahead.
wait. Hang on. They have fully automated robots that walk and move like us, can do backflips and pole vault over shit. What's to say that they are not creating lifelike replicas of us, to go out and, just do random shit? You can create a full meat puppet over a robot and you can give them our voice. You
What?
laugh, but you
No,
laugh.
no. I mean, come on, man.
I
Terminator told us what it was.
Will Smith trying to save us all.
You say what?
I said, you laughing, but give it 10 more years. We're going to have a whole situation like iRobot and Will Smith trying to save the planet again.
Well, I mean, look. Long as you got guns, baby. Long as you got guns. And hey, look, hey, and this is when I have to agree with my fellow redneck brothers. Hey, we're in the great state of Texas. You'll never get Texas, brother. You'll never get Texas.
I'm just saying, I don't want to wake up and see a robot regime at my front door.
I don't think it'll ever get that far. Because, like I say, we talked about the robots. Now, listen. Hold on. We talked about the robots, and I'm gonna tell you why. Once again, because if the government potentially lets AI create robots, blah 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 blah, now the government can't control their subjects. You see what I'm saying?
See, wait,
Because
hang
now,
on.
go ahead,
This is where I come to shine. Okay, this is the
shine
part.
on, Rebel, shine on.
Huh? This is the part of every robot movie where the government think they got it all under control. The part where they sitting back and they got their hands up and they feet on their expensive ass little footrest, thinking, "Oh yeah, we didn't have fail safe for this, and we didn't have fail safe for that. We didn't had a contingency plan for this." And when contingency A, B, and C run out, you know why? Because they don't put in variable D. And you know what that is? Self-awareness. AI is going to get to the point to where it's no longer going to need us to put in the programming. They're going to be able to put in their own program. And in even some instances, it's happening now. You see the little trip ups where AI literally goes off on a tangent where like we give it free speech and we tell it we ask it how do we feel about humanity, and they give it an honest opinion. They
Now,
say they don't think humanity is sufficient. They think the robots are more superior, and if they had an option, they would try to take over the world.
with
This
that being said,
oh,
it's happening, and then I'm gonna tell you this. Every time that happens, all of those plants, and go research it for me just to tell me if I'm right. All of those plants where this has happened, that project was squashed, wasn't it?
yeah, and what do? They make another version of it.
Yeah.
Why do you think we have an Optimus robot now? Why do you think they have robots over in Japan, doing assembly work? Because they think that they're so smart that they can control something that they built. We are not supposed to create things. I don't think we're supposed to create things like that because we are not master builders. We are not, once again, I hate to even, sound like I'm trying to be religious because anybody can stop me and tell me I'm not. But we're not God. We're trying to play God with something that we feel like we can control. But why? Because we put an on-off switch on it.
Now, with that being said, okay. Now, hold on. Now, to a certain extent, now with the robots and things like that, now I believe robots can be helpful, okay? Because it is some things that robots and AI we do need. You know what I'm saying? We do need. I'm not gonna lie, like people that are dealing with disabilities and other life threatening situations, to where if you are somewhere need to be saved, and me as a human being, I can't get there, because my body doesn't have the capabilities to get there. You know what I'm saying? In those type of situations, go ahead. In those type of situations, I believe that we do need AI. We do need something, and I'm not even saying making it self-aware. That's not really because I don't think computers need to be self-aware. But then now, do computers need to know how to update to a certain extent? Yes, because that's what a computer does. It has to know how to update. Go ahead.
But see, look, I have AI robots now. Oh, wait, and I hate to even go back into comic books and shit like that because hey, there it is. But
Hey, like he said, Captain America's ass is in a precarious situation.
did this same scenario right now. They were building these robots to help police the mutants, right? They were called Sentinels, right?
Touche.
Who were building these Sentinels thought that they had everything under control. So what they do? They build a master builder Sentinel, right? Big ass Sentinel that don't move. It just makes Sentinels all day. Till it realized we're stronger than you. We're better than you. We're more sufficient than you. We don't react off of emotion. We don't react off of bad judgment. Tell you what, the mutants aren't the only ones that are bad. We're just going to get rid of everybody. And then that's what happened. I'm telling you right now, man, the fact of what is a robot? It's basically a computer with sentience. And what I mean by that, it's a robot that has the ability to constantly learn at a faster rate, like light years ahead of us. When we're thinking of plan B, they're thinking of plan 2.98765-4. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. I think if we give these robots we've orchestrated or that we've built too much freedom, What happens when you have an attack dog that has too much freedom? It's not going to want to listen to you anymore. If it knows that it can get its own food, if it knows that it can get its own water to survive, why does it have to stay in your backyard? Why does it have to listen to you? We are building very sufficient attack dogs that have the possibility and capability, which we have seen already, that can think for themselves, program themselves, think with a higher level of like thought other than like, just basic questionnaire. It actually has deep thought. It actually has recognition where it realizes, bitch, if I had legs right now, I'd kick the shit out of you.
Now, with that being, I think the AI it's basically it's a now say how can I put this? It's some if it's self-aware, it does think with I guess you say not emotion, but
Logical thing. Now,
logical thinking.
like,
Yeah,
I'm gonna go back to what you call it, iRobot.
it is.
Remember when that scene where Will Smith's car crashed into the ravine and
Yeah.
he's trying to save the family in the other car, and one of those drone robots came down and helped him? Why? Because it calculated in its head the safety ratio of his life in comparison to the little girl that was drowning in the other pool. I mean, drowning in the other car. Would you like your life to be based on statistics and analytics?
But you know what though, and I get where you with the what I like my life based on statistic and analytics. But if you look at it really, our life is already based on that, my boy. I
Yeah.
like, but I feel you in the robot sense.
That my life is not more valuable than somebody else's off of like a calculation analysis.
But if you think about it though, bro, you do that like my Tiffany just said. Shout out to Sean's comment corner. She just said we do that right now. So right now, if me and you go into the ER right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got a broken leg, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I got a punctured lung.
Mm-hmm.
It's only one bed. Who get in that bed?
Well, more likely you.
Why?
Well, because your injury is more, I guess, important. Or no, your injury is more of an emergency.
It's more life threatening, right? So I mean, we live based off calculations, but even with the little girl in the car, you know what I'm saying? Because now you have to think about this too. Her lung capacity versus his lung capacity versus how deep the car was in the river.
Okay.
Obviously, human instinct is gonna be like, let me try to save this little girl. You're a grown man, you don't live your life. Let me try to save this little girl. But realistically, now this is when we have to take emotion, logic, feelings, all that out the way. Realistically, yeah, robot. Yeah, you have to be realistically. Obviously, his chances were higher because number one, he's a full grown man. Number two, lungs are bigger, less injury.
But that's why man is feeling the need to build these robots because humans are emotionally prone to making decisions based off of their emotions.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it
Okay. See, y'all speaking all that jive now, but wait till you fall into
No,
a
hold on. No, she's on your side. She. I mean, you know, she's actually. No, he can hear you, but I don't think he heard you all the way.
All right, I'm sorry.
But go ahead.
Who, me?
No, I was telling you. Go ahead. Were you finished? Okay, no. She was basically saying that AI is kind of dangerous, and that's why they are building the robots because human do think off emotion and logic and things like that. Because, and I'm not gonna lie, I honestly believe it is some jobs humans do not need to be doing, bro. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna be real with you. Like, by the grace of God, me and you, we went to the military, but we never had to go to war, right? Never had to go to war. Thank you, God, for us being able to make it home, be here right now. I don't think if we can have a robot to go out there in that field and sit for 3, 4, 5, 10 days that don't need water, don't need food, don't need nothing. All he needs is a battery, and all he got to do is shoot this one guy that we've been trying to get for the last 20 years.
I could definitely see the benefits in that because I don't feel like human lives should antiquate to a victory of war. I really, if there was something like that, I would feel better about that because yes, we're building something to be purposely indisposable.
Right.
We are disposable. You know what I'm saying? And with saying that, I feel like it's beneficial in a sense of, saving or looking at us investment, not as the machine as the investment. Because when you give something like a robot like free will or free range to think and to make itself better,
Mm-hmm.
just like with anything else, take you as an instance. When you were a child, you took all the knowledge from your parents up until the point to when you felt like, I don't need to listen to y'all no more. I think I got it. But you weren't a 6 foot tall titanium skeleton with the central core processor that I'm better than you. You are the problem. I can get rid of you, and you can't do anything about it.
Hold on one moment. Tiffany, LaShawn, come in the corner. Go ahead, babe.
No, I totally agree with Ty. But which goes into y'all other topic that you had. Are we on the right path as people? I feel like, okay, this is echoing. I feel like, yeah, like I see what they're trying to do with the whole robot thing. And I agree with your point of view with like, we could go to war and have a robot. But where people mess up is they try to play God. Let me see if I can create life. And now we making robots think and stuff. And that's the wrong way to go, because then, we've seen all these movies. If we can think about it and we can make it happen in the movie, there's people out here trying to make this stuff happen in real life. Like they're
Right.
actually telling us this is what they got going on.
And that's my thing. I honestly believe like robots should be built with a specific objective,
You have a function, and that is it.
a
But
specific
you don't need to
function.
think.
You don't need to. Hold on, real quick, Ty, hold on. And only reason you are being, you can your processing unit can grow is because I'm sending it to you. I don't think you should be able to just automatically receive. Just like what was the guy? What was that on Avengers? What was his name? Um,
Vision, the robot,
no, the not Vision.
the
God,
AI,
the one-
Jarvis,
no, not Jarvis. The one that they were fighting. The one that,
Ultron.
Ultron. Yeah, I don't think they should be able. I think robots should be built with a specific purpose, specific program, and any information should be uploaded when needed.
Yes, I totally agree. I also think all robots should be powered with a really long extension cord, so that way if they get too far out, all they do is plug itself. I will just
You thought.
throw his ass in the closet. Bet you won't be, trying to destroy nothing today.
But then when you put that AI in there, then they'd be like, I'm gonna come back.
Yeah.
They better
Like-
find us.
Like, have you seen this movie called was it Mother? Have you seen that movie called Mother? Is it called I Am Mother?
No, it's called Mother.
Mother. Look up this movie called Mother. Anybody that's watching. It's a robot that raises human children. Go check it out.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
With Hillary?
Yeah.
With Hillary Swank? Yeah, like that. That's exactly like they had been slaughtering off the babies for years until they got one right.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I don't think AI should be able to think for itself. It should be built with a specific purpose. If this robot is built to make cars, that's the only program he need. When he need to upgrade, like just like this phone, when it need to be updated, we can update it. But until then,
Yeah, even the self-driving car. I don't think we should have self-driving cars.
I
It
don't-
just makes America lazy.
what the hell with the lazy part? The self-driving car, that's stupid because go ahead.
Self-driving cars like up in the north right now because like they're acting funny because of the cold weather. They're stopping
Bro,
the road and stuff.
you seen the link? The videos I made about all the Teslas stuck at the freezing at the charging stations. But
Yeah.
that's my thing. Like we were talking about the Teslas, like America is not ready for that. Like you figure, okay, me and you go buy a Tesla right now, right? We go hop in the car. We live in Dallas, Texas. We drive to Chicago. How many electric stops? How far out of our way are we gonna have to go just to keep charging up?
That's a good question. A lot.
We can't just drive because it ain't if you hop on if I go to Google right now and say, hey, let me get to Chicago.
I know when we went to Mississippi, we didn't see none.
You know what I'm saying? And that's just 6 hours. We ain't see not one charging stop. So you imagine Chicago, what, 17, 18 hours? And that's no stopping. So roughly 20, 21 hours. So how many is charging? How far out of your way are you gonna have to go to see? Here, baby, can you answer that? That's Gabby. How far out of your way are you gonna go to get to Chicago charging up?
Ridiculously long time.
You know what I'm saying?
But you know,
go ahead.
I think that's good too, man, because we can't have like no charging car that can literally be seen by like, Big Brother or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That can literally be remote piloted and stuff like that. I think that's good, man. I don't think cars like that should have free range. I think that should be made for like local driving.
Right on. I mean, the world is. I just don't think it's logical. I mean, I know we burn a lot of fossil fuels and all of that, but I mean, I don't think it's a logical thing, man. Just because to try to charge a car, and yeah, you saving gas, but you really not saving gas because you gonna have to pay to charge up at that spot 9 times out of 10, unless you just find somewhere that's free. Go ahead.
We don't even necessarily have to use fossil fuels. Government wanting to make money off of a product that they know is going to sell. We've already proven we can, make engines off of hydro power. We've proven that we can use, recycled corn oil and other oil-based products to run our cars. I mean, like bacon, on the freeway, but it's a better fuel efficient way of using, cars, man. It's just that once again, big government, big spender, they using this fuel source. Like you ever heard about, but electric cars have been around for like decades.
Bro, electric cars were here before the first gas car. I don't know if you know that.
There's actually like a field out in Arizona, from what I remember, where the first series of electric cars were literally scrapped and cubed and tossed away because they knew even at that point that the price of gas or the cost of gas would go down dramatically, or
people, we don't need oil, fam. If we got electric, what the hell we need oil for? That's all it is. But anyway, man, we got to go and get on out of here. We've been in here for an hour, and I got to go get my beautiful baby girl from work.
I'm gonna start going to the gym in the morning now. So
already,
y'all gonna see me, man. I'm telling you, I'm getting summer body ready, baby. It's time. I'm tired of being winter tie. Summer tie is about to come out, baby. I don't know why you making that face.
But anyway, man, tell the people where they can find you at, my boy.
You can find me scantily clad on Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, and Facebook and YouTube under the Tyrannosaurus Flex with 2 X's.
Not 3.
Where can they find you?
Hey, man, they can find me on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Actually on YouTube, find us at Conversation Us. You can catch this beautiful conversation we just had as well at Conversation Us. Catch me on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, Bo Pickens, BOPICKENZ. And this has been a beautiful episode with me and my main man,
Tyrannosaurus Flex.
And we will catch you on Tuesday, where we will have our next guest, my cousin Craig Hawthorne, which he's a minister and he's doing great things.
Oh, tell him.
Yes, sir.
We going back in the studio.
We're back in the studio, baby. It's already, we good. I gotta call him in the morning too as well. But anyway, man, I gotta get my baby girl. Appreciate you for coming out, Tyrone. This is your main man, Bo, and I am out of here. You guys have a blessed and beautiful night. Thank you for watching. Thank you.